and away. I shot for the stars, I needed some space. I can't erase your past mistakes, so this is the part where I follow my heart. Superman can't leave his cape, that's why I told this 38. For goodness sake, take me to my safest place, my great escape. I can't take your pain away. When I'm with you, I can't explain the shit that just run through my brain. Toxic little pump through my veins. Usually I can't feel a thing, that's why this is feeling strange. Faster than a speeding train, but I can't be your Superman. It's okay, it's alright, drop a four.
What's up, everybody? This is episode 9 of the MIKKIMANIA podcast. And if you're an AEW fan, this episode might not be for you. But if you want to hear me talk some shit about the company that you love so very much, stay here. I got a lot I gotta say. So as my last episode, we talked about the, CM Punk, Jack Perry backstage assault, or where Tony Khan feared for his life, which we saw the footage. If you saw the footage, what did he fear about his life? What was so bad about that moment where CM Punk lunged himself at him when he was clearly being held back by several people? That was last week, or my last episode. Last week on Dynamite, Tony Khan went against his word by saying he did not want to be an on-camera character, that he wanted to strictly stay, as the boss of AEW, yada, yada, yada. Sure enough, now that Jack Perry is back in AEW, he interfered at Dynasty and the ladder match between FTR and the Young Bucks. Costed FTR the match, and the Young Bucks became the new AEW World Heavyweight Champions. No surprise there. They're EVPs. They're booking their own shit. But now that Jack Perry is back with the company, not this past Dynamite, which was this past Wednesday, but last week's Dynamite, Jack Perry wasn't necessarily reinstated. There's going to be a lot of these things. Sorry. He was reinstated, but had Tony Khan come out to the ring. They talked. He said, he wants to be everything about what AEW is. He wants to be here and, be a part of this company, so on and so forth. Terrible promo. Not believable. Didn't put butts in seats, from what I heard about the crowd, which they don't know how to do anyway. So what's a big surprise there? As he's hugging Tony Khan, he raises his hand up, and then he hits Tony Khan in the stomach with the microphone. This is where it gets retarded. Excuse my language if you're offended by it, but this was the most retarded segment I've ever seen in wrestling history. And wrestling's had a lot of stupid shit. I think Eric Bischoff has said it best on his episode that he did on Wise Choices, that it was a parody of a parody. So like when the NWO started, it was Hogan, Nash, and Hall. Eventually, Eric Bischoff became an on-screen character with the NWO, became a thing. It was cool back in the 90s. It's not really cool in 2024. It's not that it is because it's 2024. It's mostly because of the people doing it. They're cringy. They're not they're not stars. They look like midgets. I know I'm not the tallest person, but they're short as fuck. And they're not believable. The whole group really it's the Bucks, Okada, and now Jack Perry. And Okada has the ability to be better than every single one of them. No surprise there. But as Tony Khan got his ass whooped by Jack Perry, which, I don't mind seeing, Tony Khan get his ass kicked, but he cannot sell for shit. He gets hit in the stomach. If you get hit in the stomach, are you going to lay there in agony and just lay there, or are you going to grab where the spot is where you got hit and sell the fucking injury. Anyways, for someone that's an owner of a professional wrestling company and runs it, doesn't know how to sell, pathetic. Anyways, we move on. The Young Bucks and Okada come out. They're like, Jack Perry, what are you doing? Why would you do this and that? It looks like the Bucks are about to fucking knee Tony Khan in the head, and they don't. They lift up Tony Khan, and they do the Mesler driver on Tony Khan. Honestly, the most pointless move I've ever seen in professional wrestling history. It doesn't look. It's supposed to be a tombstone, and then one of them is supposed to jump off the top rope and make it a double pile driver. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's even got a stupider fucking name. We all know who Dave Mesler is. Garbage. Right along with them. How fitting. Anyways. We proceed to Tony Khan at the NFL draft. He wasn't at the draft, but he was in Jacksonville. He's part of the Jacksonville Jaguars organization with his father that's helped him fucking run this company, and Cody Rhodes. He's wearing a neck brace. Him wearing that neck brace couldn't have said that he wants to be Vince McMahon more. He wants to be Vince so bad. We've seen it back in the day when Vince became an on-screen character with Stone Cold. You know, what pretty much escalated the Attitude Era besides the screw job between Shawn and Brett. But it's just like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like, how bad can it possibly be for you to be this desperate for ratings that you throw yourself into a on-screen segment of the company that you run? And more importantly, you don't sell it correctly. And then at the NFL draft, they're showing you on camera. You have a neck brace on. You're supposed to be selling this injury to your neck, and you're moving like this. It doesn't look like your neck's hurt. No, it's not believable. Yes, it's keeping K5 alive by selling the injury, being like, oh, I did get hurt. But you're not really doing it if you're moving your fucking head like a fucking idiot. Doesn't make sense. Fast forward. After end of Dynamite, he's in the neck brace and he's doing the damn Daniel Garcia dance with him on stage. Cringy. Terrible. I'm about to get mad. I hate this dude. I hate him with a fucking passion. Like, it baffles me that people can't see it. That he's stupid. He's like a little boy playing with his action figures out there. That's what he looks like. Putting on dream matches. That gets 5 stars by Dave Mesler that no one gives a fuck about. But he's at the draft. You know, he's doing his thing. They have a interview with him during the draft. And he's got to, of course he's going to promote his company. Smart move. Marketing. I get it. Respect it. But you go and decide to make a comment. A stupid ass comment. I couldn't even believe that he made this comment, but he was comparing AEW professional wrestling to the Pepsi of wrestling, and he's going up against the evil juggernaut WWE. Corny as fuck. And says AEW is like the Pepsi of professional wrestling, while WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. Even the people there interviewing him were like, stop, we're going to cut this shit. No. Like, they try to move along. He tried to keep going, talking about his company. They did not care anymore after that dumbass comment. They swiped that under the rug, and just, that made him look so bad. It made your company look bad. They constantly throw shots at WWE every single week. If it's not on a Wednesday, it's on a Friday. And if it's not on a Friday, it's on a fucking Saturday. because they got 3 fucking shows, and who knows if it's even happening on Ring of Honor too, because Ring of Honor is a part of their fucking company as well. So it could be all of them. They can't stop. They don't know how to stop. It's just something that they do, and that's the only thing they're good at, is taking shots at another company that they can't even sell more arenas in, or sell out buildings or anything. They can barely sell out whatever fucking arenas they have coming up for their schedule. Giving buy one get one free tickets. Sad. This is what it was like in 2019 for professional wrestling, where WWE was not good. 2019 was a rough year. Vince McMahon was very out of touch, and still out of touch, and out of the company as well. Officially out of the company, no longer under WWE at all. Crazy to think that, but shit happens. And fast forward to this past Wednesday, Tony Khan is in Jacksonville. They said that he had suffered major injuries to his neck and head, but yet he was moving his head like a fucking doofus during the draft. But yeah, let's believe what Tony Schiavone's saying on television, because that'll put butts in seats. Anyways, the Bucks take over the truck while Tony Khan's talking about, what's gonna happen for Dynamite. The camera, it's all glitchy, trying to copy Uncle Howdy probably. And the Bucks are, they're saying it's a new era. This is the new era of the Elite. And this was an episode where Kenny Omega was making his return to his hometown in Winnipeg, and he was kicked out of the Elite. I'm not sure when it happened. I can't remember when it happened. I'm pretty sure some Mark could tell you when it happened. But I can't pinpoint. But Okada comes out and confronts Kenny. They go back and forth. Kenny tells him he's the best bout machine in wrestling, and Okada's like, "No, I am." They have a long history. They've had some matches in New Japan. So there's history there between them. And Kenny said, give him a few months and they'll run it back in AEW. And right after that, here comes the Young Bucks. They get in the ring and they beat the living fuck out of Kenny Omega. They beat him up. Jack Perry was involved as well, I believe. They eventually make their way to the back. Kenny Omega's on a stretcher. The Bucks were talking to him. Sorry, man, we love you, this and that, but we got to change the world, right? Pushes him off the stretcher. That's pretty much the end of that segment. And their viewership went down. Oh, it went up a little bit, but it went down bad. And a lot of people were like, does viewership really matter? Does ratings even matter? Yeah, it kind of does. Because when you're putting people on certain points at television and your ratings are dropping, it's not a good thing. That means the person that you're putting on that television is not a draw. That means people will change the fucking channel when they get on the television. And people want to disregard it, that it's not a problem. It is a problem. This company has a hard time making stars and creating stars for some odd reason. Because mostly it's a fantasy booking company. It's about booking fantasy matches instead of making storylines and making things that make sense. But I understand that's not the business that Tony Khan's in. CM Punk said it best. If you want to, pull off 5-star matches in a quarter full arena, we're not in the same business. He's 100% correct. Regardless of him saying the things he said about WWE and him going back, when he comes out of the entranceway, at least he can look to his left and to his right and see a full crowd for once in his career since being back in professional wrestling. So, pretty interesting stuff going on with AEW. I can't even talk about this anymore because I'm going to lose my fucking shit on this company. Anyways, moving on. All right, and we're moving on to a company that understands professional wrestling a lot more than Tony Khan. Backlash is tomorrow. It should be a good one. It's in France, so it's going to be on at like 11 in the morning, maybe 12 p.m. Not too sure. Hopefully I'm awake. I work overnight, so who fucking knows if I'm going to be awake to even watch it live. But the card is looking great. I guess I should go over a little bit of things that's been going on through Monday and Fridays. We have the new bloodline happening with Tama Tonga and Solo. Now that Jimmy's been kicked out of the bloodline, it's just them two. Possible debut for Saturday is Jacob Fatu. He's currently apparently have been signed to WWE. Not too sure, but we'll find out Saturday if he shows up or not to help the bloodline in their match, which we'll get into later whenever I give off the card for the night. Only 5 matches. A match on there was taken off, which was supposed to be Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed for the Intercontinental title. Maybe a decision gets made to make that a triple threat match because Chad Gable's been involved with what's been going on. Gable turned heel on Sami. I think the Monday after. Yeah, I don't want to say the Monday after WrestleMania, but the following Monday, 2 weeks after Mania, they had an Intercontinental title match on Raw, and Chad Gable turned on him. He, it was a good match. It was a great match, actually. And Sami's on his way to hug his wife outside. He starts hugging her. Next thing you know, Chad Gable comes around from behind him and just German suplexes his ass out from the outside of the ring. We've been waiting for Gable to honestly turn heel. A lot of people are hoping that he brings out his inner Perk Angle. If you don't know about Perk Angle, YouTube that shit. You're not going to be disappointed. But, we're not too sure if we're going to get that match Saturday at Backlash, but it would be great to add that. There's only 5 matches, like I said. But, whatever they decide to do is what they decide to do. They saved that for another pay-per-view. That's on them. But so far, that rivalry, lost my train of thought for a second. That match has potential and should happen on Saturday. But like I said, we never know. Now moving on to some other matches that we got going on, maybe to help out, make you understand why it's happening and when it's going to happen. We have Trinity, Naomi, whatever you want to call her, versus Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley in a triple threat match for the Women's Championship from SmackDown's Women's Championship. I'm not mad about it. Part of me really does wish that Tiffany Stratton takes the strap off. I'm a big fan of Tiffany Stratton. The woman has the most beautiful moonsault. It's even called, I think it's the PFM or something like that. I'm trying to remember. It's the prettiest moonsault or something like that. I can't remember what it is. Sorry. It's fucking 5:30 in the morning and I'm tired. But I'm going to give you content regardless. That match should be good. I do see Bayley taking the win. I don't see her losing her title anytime soon. If she does lose her title to anybody, it most likely will be Tiffany Stratton because she's a new up-and-comer. She's young. She's got potential. Great on the mic. Great in-ring. 100% great in-ring. Has the look. There's nothing bad to say about her. She's got everything in her potential to be great in this company. I don't know when they'll give that chance to her, to give her that title. She was a champion in NXT, so she has potential to be a champion on the main roster. But time will tell. But I do have Bayley taking that match and that victory. So we're going to mark that one down and see if I'm correct on that one. I'm going to try to guess all these right. And you can come back the next episode and call me out if I get them wrong. Anyways, we're moving on to a tag team match, which I said we would talk about the Bloodline. We got Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline, the new Bloodline. I don't see Randy and Kevin Owens winning because of Jacob Fatu debuting that night and interfering. Granted, I don't know who would join Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to help them out because it's going to be a 3-on-2 at some point if they continue this rivalry. But this is the time to start the new Bloodline while Roman is recovering, or in I was going to say Hawaii, but in Hollywood. He was seen in Hollywood. There's a picture out there, even though I thought he wasn't going to go to Hollywood. He said he wasn't, but they all say they aren't going to go. And we saw what happened to John Cena. Fucking disappeared into Hollywood. But it doesn't matter. We got Peacemaker out of that motherfucker, so I am not mad. I'm okay with it. But I don't see RKO. That's what they're calling them. That's funny. They're having a RKO show happening next Monday, I believe, or tomorrow. Actually, I'm wrong. I apologize. Tomorrow. No. Shit, I'm wrong again. Tonight. Today's Friday. Excuse me. I'm foggy up there. I'm trying to get myself back to normal so I can give you some good damn content, and I'm pretty sure I fucked up several times in this span that I've made this episode. But yeah, I do not see Randy and Kevin Owens winning this match. Bloodline gets a new member and gets the victory. Probably not the victory. It might be a disqualification unless Kevin Owens and Randy Orton win the match and then Jacob Fatu debuts. But it makes a little bit more sense for Jacob Fatu to interfere while the match is happening, cause the interference, cause the disqualification. We move along. And then we'll find out the following Friday what's going to happen with all that. Moving on to the next match. We have... what did I look at? My handwriting is fucking garbage. We got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus the Kabuki Warriors. I'm not too hyped on that match or crazy about it. It just seems like another filler match, but they've been making Jade and Bianca a thing since Mania. Naomi was a part of it, but Naomi's in a championship match, so she's got bigger things to worry about than being a fucking tag team with Bianca and Jade. I'm assuming Jade and Bianca are a tag team mostly because one of them is going to turn. It's most likely going to be Jade, so they can start that rivalry right there between Jade and Bianca, which would be great. I mean, they're very similar in style. They're powerhouses. They're strong. They move just about the same. Jade's probably a little more athletic than Bianca, but I don't see this tag team lasting very long. I'm not sure what's going to cause the breakup, but Jade for sure. Call me out if I end up being wrong, but Jade is going to be the one that turns on Bianca. It's not going to be tomorrow, but it's going to be later down the road so they can set up a big match. That could be a potential big match for SummerSlam or, Money in the Bank. I believe Money in the Bank is in July. That has potential to be a thing. But I got Jade and Bianca winning that match. I don't see the Kabuki Warriors winning. For some reason, I just don't. They've been kind of on a losing streak lately, and it kind of just doesn't matter right now for them. So they're taking the L tomorrow. Moving on to the first championship match of the pay-per-view, which is going to be Damian Priest versus Jey Uso. It's kind of clear as day who's going to win this. It's going to be Damian Priest, but hopefully it's a good match. It should be a good match, but I see Damian Priest taking the victory, mostly because of what's going to happen storyline-wise with other people that are around the World Heavyweight Championship, which is Drew. Got cashed in at Mania. Damian Priest cashed in, beat him for the title due to CM Punk interference, which was great. So that's going to be the results for this match, because I do see McIntyre possibly getting his belt back at a Clash at the Castle. Will be in his homeland, so it just makes sense for him to take the title off of Damian Priest. So Damian Priest only has this month until June 15th to hold on to that title, because it just makes a lot of sense. Drew just signed a new contract. Drew is also injured. So we don't know. It's going to be up in the air. We're not too sure about what's going to happen with that. But I don't see Jey Uso winning at all right now. Does he have potential to be a World Heavyweight Champion? 100% does. He most certainly does. He's main event Jey Uso. They don't call him that for no reason. He gets the crowd pumping every single fucking night he comes out. He's probably one of the most unserious person, along with his damn brother Jimmy Uso. They're so unserious, and it's hard to take them serious sometimes. But they're great characters, great workers, great wrestlers. But I do not see him winning. I got Damian Priest taking this victory and moving along to possibly losing to Drew McIntyre. So CM Punk can take that belt off of Drew McIntyre, like how we all want. Or for at least I do. And for the main event of Backlash, we got Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. First time ever. First time ever for Cody versus Styles, but not a first time for Styles versus a Rhodes. Back in TNA, way back in the day, kind of like it's upbringing time. AJ Styles fought the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes' father. What a great full circle. I think it said it was like 22 years ago that match happened. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild that this is Cody's first title defense, and it's against AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. And there's so much backstory to it because of Styles had facing Dusty Rhodes back in the day. It just shows how long the longevity of AJ Styles. Honestly, that's crazy. Because Dusty wasn't wrestling for much long, He started having health issues. I think around that time after TNA, he became more of backstage training, helping the superstars become superstars. Mostly in NXT, that's what he was. But after TNA, he disappeared for a little bit. But again, this is one of those matches where it's clear and obvious. Cody just won that title, finished the story at WrestleMania, starting a new chapter now as the champion. So Cody Rhodes has to win this match. Poor AJ Styles, though. He hasn't really had a championship or had a big crazy run in years. It's been a while, but he's playing his role as being the guy that can elevate whoever he's in the ring with and make look great at all times. He did the same thing with LA Knight. He lost to LA Knight at WrestleMania, which was a big shocker to me, to be honest with you. I did not see that happening. I saw Styles finally getting the win. Styles just returned. Just made sense to give him some momentum. But at the same time, LA Knight is on fire right now. So it's kind of hard to just brush that off and not not give LA Knight the victory at WrestleMania. But it didn't matter because Styles ended up getting a championship opportunity before LA Knight, but he earned it. So you can't be mad. He earned that shit. But that match should be, no pun intended, because who's in the match, but it's going to be a phenomenal one. It's really going to be a good fucking match. And I'm really, really, really excited for it. But like I said, Cody's taking this damn match. He's going to win. It's just what it is. There ain't no what's or buts about it, but he's taking this damn match for sure. But yeah, like I said, tonight is Friday Night SmackDown. We should find out what's going to be carrying on to the next day for the pay-per-view. We got a lot of stuff to unfold after that. I'm not sure when the next episode will be. It might be sometime after, maybe a little bit after Monday, or possibly next Friday. I like things to go on a little bit, a few weeks go by, and then catch up a little bit on the important things. And then, let you as well as the viewers watch the episodes for yourself. Come here and listen to how I feel about the episodes and the matches that took place. I know I didn't get too in depth about, Monday and Fridays, but I wanted to cover at least some of the big things that are happening so you understand Backlash a little bit more going into it tomorrow. So you're not confused and you're not, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Why are these people facing each other? But anyways, a thing that I did not get to talk about last week, I don't remember what the fuck I did the damn episode, but the one thing I didn't get to talk about was the potential of Uncle Howdy. There's been a lot of glitches and stuff going on during the episodes of Monday Night Raw. I think during SmackDown as well. Super crazy QR codes with crazy visual videos and just very Bray Wyatt-like stuff. Very Bray Wyatt-like stuff, which we all love, but rest in peace to him. But his brother, Bo Dallas, Taylor Rotunda, is possibly going to be carrying on his legacy. He was the character Uncle Howdy whenever Bray returned. We all kind of assumed that it was him. They've always wanted to work together again. They used to work back in the day together at FCW. They were a tag team champions at FCW. So, everything, just like Bray Wyatt said, life is a circle and everything comes full circle. So this is one of those things where, sadly, it's not Bray being involved. It's, his brother, but that's okay. So we'll get more into that as things unfold. They say possibly he's going to show up tomorrow at Backlash. Not too sure. Eric Rowan just signed to WWE, so that's another member that could be part of what everyone's saying, the Wyatt Six. You got Alexa Bliss, you got Taylor Rotunda, you got Braun Strowman, you got Eric Rowan. There's some people saying Joe Gacy from NXT. So there's so much going on with that. There's QR codes every week. They're playing this song called Nightbird. Every time, like it's a commercial break, messing with the lights, flickering the lights. It's pretty interesting. And it's the same thing they did with White Rabbit when Bray was going to did return. So it's very similar, and it's very fun to dig deep and figure out what are these meanings and these codes and stuff that's going on in the videos and the QR codes. Like, very interesting stuff. If you haven't taken the time to, there's a podcast, or not podcast, but there's a channel on YouTube called C Wrestling. Big Bray Wyatt fan as well. Goes through everything. There's crazy people out there like myself that like to dig deep and find out the clues to what this is leading to, because we're just so curious about it. But that's what they want you to do. That's the whole point of even the White Rabbit, digging deep, going down the rabbit hole. It's good stuff. It's fun and it's exciting. It gets the fans involved more. So going forward, hopefully we get what we want, which is the Wyatt Six, and they they become everything Bray wanted it to be. It might not be the same. It's never going to be the same. But it's the closest thing we're going to get back to having Bray around. But yeah. That concludes this episode, guys. I appreciate y'all listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this to your Instagram stories, Facebook newsfeed, wherever the fuck else, Snapchat, OnlyFans. I don't give a fuck. Just fucking share this shit. Please help me out. I'm not desperate. Or am I? By the way, there was no notes on this fucking paper. So, this was a freestyle episode. Go fuck yourself, Tony Khan.
Up and away, I shot for the stars, I needed some space. I can't erase your past mistakes, so this is the part where I follow my heart. Superman can't leave his cape, that's why I told this 38. For goodness sake, take me to my safest place, my great escape. I can't take your pain away. When I'm with you, I can't explain the shit that just run through my brain. Toxic little pump through my veins. Usually I can't feel a thing, that's why this is feeling strange. Faster than a speeding train, but I can't be your Superman. It's okay, it's alright, drop a 4.